Good afternoon. It is currently March 4th, 2025, and I am sitting here at school thinking about artificial intelligence. Now, I have, at one point in my life, made an AI video because I was messing around with it to see how it worked, because I believe that you should always try something before you have, opinions on it. So I've done that in the past. This video is not AI generated. This video is entirely generated by me. Now, I had an assignment for one of my classes, Digital Video Composing, which is an English language arts education course at the graduate level, where we were asked to use AI. And part of it was to use it to make a storyboard. And that was really upsetting to me. Now, yes, I will admit that my art sucks, but storyboards are supposed to be loose, super simple, nothing wild. So I did the assignment. I made the storyboard like the professor wanted. But I was quite upset about it. I'm currently in the process of filming the actual video that I'm going to submit. However, I'm actually considering submitting this video to the professor and taking a 0 on the assignment, because that's how upset I am by this. It made me feel like the professor did not care about me actually learning the skill and only wanted me to learn what to prompt into an artificial intelligence. Now, my school uses Microsoft Copilot, because every school or every student here has Office 365 for free through the school, so they use the Copilot. And Copilot is now, when I open Microsoft Word through the school, is now asking me if I'd like to write with Copilot. I don't want to write with Copilot. So I actually pay for my own Microsoft 365, well, Office 365, without Copilot, because that's how much I hate AI. But it was incredibly upsetting that in a course at the graduate level about education, we were encouraged to use AI. Not even encouraged, basically required to use AI to complete the assignment. And it was bothersome. We spent a large amount of last week's lesson talking about AI. In other classes in the department, we've also used AI, because everybody's like, don't ban it, don't ban it. Now, I do want to point out that I have the same tolerance for use of AI in an assignment that I do for bullying in the classroom, which is 0. And both of them should be met with a suspension, a 0 on the assignment, or both of them should be met with a suspension and potentially other consequences. AI, you should get a 0 for using it on your assignment, because you didn't do the assignment. You didn't learn. There was no learning that happened in that class. Well, okay, no, that's not 100% true. What I learned was that Microsoft Copilot is quite anti-Semitic, because I originally had wanted to make a video that would have incorporated a lot about Greek mythology and stuff along those lines, and it ended up, after a couple getting anti-Semitic, it got basic things wrong. For example, when I asked it about the birth of Athena, it gave me Thor. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to repeat the things it said, because, yeah, that would be a community guidelines violation. But it absolutely made me feel like the professor did not care about my education at that point, which was upsetting to me. It was very upsetting to me, because I'm paying like $10,000 per semester to come here to learn this so that I can be effective in my future career. And the fact that I'm being told to use AI is not helping me in my future career. It's making me worse and doing a disservice to the students. Now, this class was a recommended class, Digital Video Literacy Learning. I have some opinions on that. One is that nobody under the age of 18 should ever be required to be on video if they don't want to, whether it's in class or their parents, like, mommy bloggers, influencer bloggers. I have the same opinion about that as I do about a 7th grade ELA teacher assigning you to make a news report. I mention that because my 7th grade ELA teacher assigned that when I was 11 or 12, and she's in jail for, she was in jail for inappropriate relations with students. So it kind of makes me feel a little disgusted that there's a video of 12-year-old me potentially with them. But I'm taking the course because it was recommended and it fit in my schedule. And I was like, you know what? I want to see. Let me see a different perspective. And I am seeing a different perspective. I did actually, in this week's readings, I saw how we can actually meet ELA standards with it. Specifically with the storyboarding and the how to compose the story and outlining, and how it's the same as doing an outline, and how you have a couple of different standards in ELA you can hit. Now, I still think pen and paper and physical books are the best. I prefer physical media storage to cloud storage. Part of that's because at that time Star Trek plagiarized me when I was keeping something in cloud storage, but I can't give 100% proof, but it's whatever. And it's also probably because I'm 30 as opposed to most of the other students in my class being like 18 to 24, well, 22 to 26. There are some older ones getting their masters after having taught for a couple of years, which is fine. I did a combined program, so whatever. Went from having no degree to I'm going to have 2 potentially in a year, although I am highly considering dropping out and demanding a refund based on this. I did email the professor. I emailed actually every professor I have this semester about the use of AI. We have one in my multicultural literature class who actually is also a high school teacher who has a blanket ban on AI, which I think is useful. I'm always going to have a blanket ban on AI unless the freaking boss tells me I have to use it, but that's not meeting standards. Using AI is not meeting standards. Teaching a student how to use AI is not helping the student meet the standards. It's not helping the student learn. In fact, it's telling the student, I believe you're too dumb to learn, so let the machine do it for you. I had a conversation with some friends about calculators. Let's say, for example, we give calculators to kids in like first grade. That's when you're learning addition. 5 plus 5 equals 10, 5 plus 6 equals 11, stuff like that. What if we start giving calculators with double-digit addition? 11 plus 12 equals 23. Let's do 13 plus 14. So, no, 13 plus 22. 13 plus 25 is 38. What if a kid starts flopping digits and we don't see that because they're using the calculator to get the right answer? Now we're not going to be able to intervene with, or do an intervention for dyscalculia. We're probably not going to be able to see dyslexia if we use so much AI in pre-K up to 6th grade. We need to have the kids using the physical books. There's a reason why students need to read the physical books when they're young. It helps us identify things like dyslexia or hyperlexia. Hyperlexia is a spectrum. I'm actually hyperlexic, and if you know about how sometimes like people who are dyslexic have the swapping the letters, things like that, difficulty spelling, difficulty with comprehension sometimes, I have that too, but the difficulty with comprehension for me comes with because I read too fast. The last time I was tested, it was 6th grade, and I read 350 words per minute, which was extremely fast. It was like off the chart fast, and I did retain the information, but I've had to teach myself how to slow down when reading so that I can retain more information. If a student's just given an audiobook, first of all, they're potentially going to get distracted. Second of all, we're not going to be able to intervene because we're not going to be able to intervene because we're not going to be able to identify the dyslexia. But going back to AI, if I say to a student, what's the theme of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven? And they put that into ChatGPT, it's not going to give you something that's unique. It's going to give everybody the same thing. And the last thing I want to do is read 100 of the same essay. Maybe somebody thinks the theme is birds. Maybe somebody thinks the theme is this. Maybe, as long as you have textual evidence to back up your claim, there's no wrong answer in literature. And with AI, we're making things so that there is a single correct answer. And that's a problem. That's a major problem that can be only discussed by us understanding the problems that AI will put into the classroom. Sure, I can see using it as an assistive tool. I can see using it as we identified that this student has this disability and this will help them understand how to do this. Or we identified that this student is a slow reader and needs assistance with that. And needs assistance with determining main ideas. Let's have the AI break down what the main ideas are and then have them read those main ideas. Have it identify what the page numbers are. Have that student I do that. That's an intervention. I can see that for an intervention. But in terms of just regular use of AI and encouraging the use of AI for a student that's not on an IEP and wanting it used in a general education classroom in general, no, it's telling your students, I don't believe in you. And the worst thing you can do as a teacher is tell your students, I don't believe in you. And that's why I'm so upset about being told to use AI. I'm very anti-AI in general, but especially in education. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget that you can tune in to my sports predictions every night. Mariners previews and post-game recaps coming up soon once the regular season starts. You can follow me on TikTok at Sammy5436, Instagram at Sammy54361, book me on Cameo. I am on Patreon, and Mariners post-game recaps will go there 12 hours before they go here. So anyway, thanks for tuning in.